They buried him at noon. By midnight the coffin was empty, the dirt was wet, and there were bare footprints leading away. Let me take you back to that night. It happened in a small town called Millbrook. The graveyard was dark and cold. Fog hung over the ground like a ghost. An old groundskeeper named George was making his rounds. He carried a small lantern. The light was weak and yellow. He saw something strange near a fresh grave. The dirt was pushed outward. Not from the top, from below. George walked closer. His hands were shaking. The coffin lid was lying on the grass. The nails were bent outward. That meant someone pushed from inside. George looked inside the coffin. It was empty. No body. No shroud. Nothing. Then he looked down at his feet. The dirt was wet, and there were bare footprints. They were fresh. They were leading away from the grave. A dead man had crawled out, and he was not finished. To understand this horror, we must go back. Back to the man inside that coffin. His name was Arthur Wilson, but everyone called him Old Man Wilson. He was 94 years old. He lived alone in a small wooden house on the edge of town. The villagers knew his face, but no one really knew him. He went to church every Sunday. He seemed like a normal old man, but something was wrong. His eyes were always red, like he had not slept in years. Children would cross the street when they saw him. He never spoke to anyone after midnight, not his neighbors, not his own family. If someone knocked on his door late at night, he would not answer, but people could hear him whispering inside, talking to someone, or something. Some said he knew dark magic, some said a demon lived inside him, but no one had proof. One thing was certain: death did not scare Old Man Wilson. He was waiting for it, maybe too eagerly. Before Old Man Wilson died, he did something strange. He left a written note for his family. The note had 3 rules. First, do not wash my body with normal water. Use water mixed with 7 bitter apple seeds. Second, do not let any woman see my face after sunset. And third, nail my coffin shut with 40 iron nails. Not 39, exactly 40. The family read the note and laughed. They thought he was crazy, old and confused. But the note had one more line, a warning. It said, if you use only 39 nails, I will not stay inside. I will come back. His son Michael tore the note and threw it in the trash. Father was sick, Michael said. We will give him a normal funeral. They did not listen. They did not believe. That was their first mistake. Michael was a modern man. He worked in the city. He did not believe in old stories or ghost tales. He said, these are just silly superstitions. The day of the funeral arrived. They washed Old Man Wilson with normal water. They wrapped him in a plain white cloth. Then came the coffin, a simple wooden box. The carpenter, Old Sam, started hammering the nails. He had a small box of iron nails, but something went wrong. Sam ran out of nails after 39. He had no more. Michael looked at the empty nail box. He looked at the coffin. It does not matter, Michael said. Just leave it. 39 is fine. Sam felt scared. He remembered the old man's warning, but he did not say anything. They lowered the coffin into the ground. They threw dirt over it. The funeral ended. Everyone went home. The graveyard became silent. That night the moon hid behind clouds, and something inside the grave woke up. The graveyard was empty. It was almost 1:15 in the morning. Old George, the groundskeeper, sat near his small shed. He had a lantern and a hot cup of tea. Then he heard something, a soft thud. He stopped breathing. Thud, thud, thud. It was coming from underground, from the new grave. George stood up slowly. He walked toward the mound of dirt. His heart was pounding. He got on his knees. He pressed his ear to the cold ground. The sound was clear now, scratching, like fingernails on wood. Then a voice, low, dry, broken. It whispered from below the earth. 39, you used only 39. George jumped back. He fell on the grass. His lantern went out. He ran. He did not look back. He did not stop until he reached his house. He locked the door and hid under his bed. He did not sleep that night, but the scratching did not stop. It went on until dawn. The sun rose over Millbrook. Birds sang. Life felt normal again, but George ran to the village leader. He told him everything, the scratching, the whisper, the voice from the grave. At first no one believed him, but they went to the graveyard anyway. When they arrived, everyone froze. The grave was torn open. Dirt was thrown everywhere. The wooden coffin lay on the ground, but the lid was not on top. It was ripped off, broken into two pieces. George pointed at the nails. They were bent outward, not inward. That meant someone pushed from inside. A dead body pushed its way out. Michael, the son, looked inside the coffin. It was empty. No body, no cloth, nothing. Then someone shouted, "Look at the ground." There were bare footprints in the wet dirt, fresh footprints, human footprints. They led away from the grave, toward the old Wilson house. No one spoke. Everyone was shaking. The dead had walked. A group of men followed the footprints. Michael led the way. His hands were shaking. The bare footprints went down the road, past the old church, past the closed school. They stopped at Old Man Wilson's house. The front door was wide open. Michael pushed the door slowly. It made a loud creaking sound. The house was dark. The air was cold, much colder than outside. Furniture was knocked over. Chairs were broken. Glass lay on the floor. Then Michael walked into his father's bedroom. He stopped. His blood turned cold. On the wall, written in mud, were words. Dirty fingerprints covered the letters. It said, "The 40th nail was my lock. You left it open. Now I am free." Michael fell to his knees. He finally understood. His father was not crazy. The warning was real, and now something was loose. But where was the body? No one knew. The footprints just disappeared in the backyard, like he vanished into thin air. The village looked for Old Man Wilson's body. They searched everywhere. The woods, the river, the old well, nothing. He was gone. Then old Sam, the carpenter, came forward. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. He said, "I need to tell you something, something terrible." The night after the funeral, Sam had a dream, but it was not a normal dream. He saw Old Man Wilson standing at the foot of his bed. The dead man was wearing his burial cloth. His eyes were red. His skin was gray. The dead man looked at Sam and said, "You hammered 39 nails. You knew my warning. Where is my 40th nail?" Sam tried to scream, but no sound came out. Then he woke up. He was covered in sweat. He looked at his toolbox on the floor. It was open. He always closed it before sleeping, but now it was open, and one iron nail was missing. Sam never found that nail. But every night since, he hears tapping on his window. Tap, 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 like someone asking to be let in. Old Man Wilson was never found. His body simply disappeared. The police searched for weeks. Nothing. The family sold the old house. No one wanted to live there. The house stayed empty. But the graveyard still holds a dark secret. The broken coffin was taken to an old abandoned church on the hill. The villagers nailed it shut again, this time with 40 iron nails. They added a thick chain and a heavy lock. They thought it was over. They were wrong. Every Thursday night at exactly 1:15 a.m., people who live near the church hear something. Knocking from inside the coffin. 3 slow knocks, then silence. Then 3 more. Some brave souls have walked up to the church. They pressed their ears to the wooden doors. They heard breathing, slow, deep, not human. No one has ever opened that coffin again. No one ever will. Some locks are meant to stay closed. Some dead are meant to stay buried. But Old Man Wilson did not stay. He crawled out once. And maybe one night he will crawl out again. And next time he might come for you.